Hey guys, Craft here. I'm here to do another video. Now we got like 24, I guess less than 24 hours left with the Haslab Engines of Vengeance, and I kind of want to just talk about it and talk about like why it failed, and also talk about some stuff I didn't agree with about Ryan when he was saying some things. So I want to just get all into that in this one video here. So hope you guys like it. So please leave a like and subscribe if you do like it, and share with your friends. All right, so let's get into it. So I guess the Haslab team was doing a lot of pivoting because like a few days ago we had got like a new reveal of this Hellstrom, Damon Hellstrom, right? And I'm like, first glance, like, who is this guy? Like, is he like Nemours half brother? Like, I don't know who he is. Like who is the guy? So I guess he's Satan's son. You know, I had to look this up. And I'm just like looking at the design, you know, himself, and I just look at it like he's like a lame character. He looked lame to me. Like, you're doing a Kickstarter, right? You want everything to just be all like cool, have this X factor to it. And to be honest with you, Madden Pryor didn't have it, and the Nelstrom didn't have it, and Mephisto didn't really have it to me either, because they had a Marvel Select that looked like 1,000 times better. And in order for him to get cool fight, you gotta like one up Marvel Select. You gotta, you know, you gotta just destroy the Diamond Select version of Mephisto. But they didn't to me. Like they could have did, gave us Mephisto with the suit when he had like the suit on. But that's like in the later comics right now, you know, that he's like on like Vegas or something. And he like giving people souls and stuff like that, and he's still fighting like Ghost Rider and Moon Knight and stuff like that. Moon Knight was getting everybody powers, but you know that's off topic. But they should have gave him that suit or something. They want to do like all new, all different, and not give us the classic Mephisto. So they didn't give us the classic Mephisto. Well, I'm saying they shouldn't have did. They should have just gave us the one in the suit then. And like I thought they was gonna do Blackheart. I'm relieved they didn't do Blackheart. But at the same time, like they should have like did Blackheart or some other like demons like Chthon or something like that. And then there's others you can do. There's others you can do than Hellstrom, because he looks just like a easy reuse of like, all right, let's use the Sunfire body and just like put some random like a random head on him and paint some pants on him. Bada bing, bada boom. You know, they just want to like change the legs out or something like that. I'm like, dude. Just put him in like a main release. You could have like put him in the main release. I guess, you know, luckily we can get Blackheart in the main release now, so we can do that. So I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, so that's why it's failing. It's failing because like I don't know who's in charge to pick who goes into what, and then the price is way too much. People are complaining, saying there's been like these anti like Haslab videos coming out that kind of derailed the project, but the project was already derailed with the price. And like I work and I pay bills, but I do have some extra money I can spend. And just looking at the Haslab itself, it just wasn't appealing. I'm sorry to say, it's just not appealing. I know some people hardcore want the car, they gotta have the car, but I'm like, I don't have to have the car. I don't have to have this character. It's not my character. I grew up with Danny Ketch. That was my character. I knew of Johnny Blaze, and I actually did know of Robbie. I do know of Robbie, but just that I have no personal attachment to the character. Like Danny Ketch, for me, when I was a kid watching it, I'd seen him in Fantastic Four. And I believe he was in an episode of Hulk too. So I was just like, that's my influence with him. So I have like this nostalgia thing with him specifically. Yeah, I know like the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider had a movie, and Robbie was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But you know, I'm just not a big fan of those two. You know, to like care too much. It's like Danny, and his motorcycle actually looked like cool. You know, it looked super cool. So yeah, that's the thing though. But they didn't even do that. And I think they had like a guy named Vengeance. They could have put Vengeance in there. They could have put Vengeance in there with Robbie. He come with a motorcycle. You know, that could have been like another tier in itself. And then it was another guy. It was another guy. Let me think of his name. They could have had Zerathos. Zerathos could have been a tier with Danny Ketch. But I wouldn't want to put Danny Ketch in there. Like I said, just have Vengeance, Zerathos, and Mephisto. And that could have been just been the tiers right there. and bada bing, we're done. It would have blew up, you know. It would have blew up because Maya Pryor is an X-Men character. Like, she has no business being a Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider is his own character. She's an X-Men character. You can just have her be the X-Men. And I know now they're trying to like put all the characters with other like series now, but at the end of the day, she's an X-Men character. She should be with X-Men. But here's some stuff that I just didn't agree with what Ryan was talking about. So I'm gonna just show you like a little like clip here. You can just hear him say the stuff, and then we'll discuss.
It's a multi-company thing. It's all of us working together to figure out a way to bring some of these characters out and as close as we can to their iconic looks. We've wanted to do these characters a lot over the past 10 years, and we keep, you know, because of reasons, we haven't been able to. But under the guise of a Haslab for a more, you know, high-end collectible, both sides came together and said, all right, let's do these characters. And these are the way we can do them, because we still have to be respectful of companies and everybody that's involved. So we had an awesome Mephisto created. We have a gorgeous Goblin Queen created. And while she's not 100% comic accurate, this was the way we could give you the closest iconic Inferno look that we could deliver.
So here's my thing with Matter and Pryor. Like, if they couldn't like get past the whole like underboob thing, and they for whatever reason they couldn't give us like her exactly, why not just make her with the underboob but don't color her, and just like have us color her, and do like I think what they do with like Warhammer, they give you like this just gray Warhammer armor and you just paint it yourself. They can do something like that, you know. They could do that with the characters. They said they can't do that, they gotta do it through a Haslab, and like do it like that, you know. Cause that's the thing I don't get. Like, if you're doing a Haslab, it's a Kickstarter, why not go all in? I know you're saying like you gotta like be respectful to the companies though, but they designed those characters. Then they should go to like Marvel and say, hey, can you change the design to be more toy friendly or something? You know, you gotta like think about stuff like that. I know it's not you guys, but I'm just saying like they could do that. But if they not like doing that, you're trying to do the character justice, you need to do it justice. So you gotta make that. But I'm just saying to get around that, so you're not like painting her like, hey, it's just gray. It's just a part of her suit. Like you can just say like the gray is part of her suit. We don't know what it is. Just put it in there. You just paint it yourself. You know, bada bing, bada boom, done. That's all you can do. And that probably would say it. But again, I'd rather her just be a part of the X-Men wave. Just be a part of that wave. Not part of Ghost Rider. Just have Ghost Rider themed characters though. But here's a question for the day for you guys. Can you think of the top of your head of any Robbie Ray villains without looking it up? Leave it in the comment below if you can.
I think your audience has been at this a long time, right? These characters, if you look at the track record of the past couple of years, we've hit a lot of characters who have either never before had a Legends figure or who sorely needed a modern update. If there was an opportunity to do Mephisto in the past 7 years, we would have done it. We've done a lot of other characters, and so this Haslab represents, for a lot of considerations, the most appropriate way for us to get them in the campaign. Now, some of the feedback has been, oh, I'm an X-Men fan, but then Goblin Queen is with the Engine of Vengeance. Oh, I want Mephisto, he's with the Engine of Vengeance. It's like that. It's either if they come out this way or they stay on the bench, right? So this is it's not kind of would I rather have it with the Haslab or not have it with the Haslab. This is the best opportunity that we have, which is something I think gets a little lost in the commentary. We're seeing these mock-ups of fans saying, oh, you're just going to release them next year anyways. They are not in the plan for 23, not in the plan for 24, right?
And these looks will not be.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions down the line.
Right, so it's not because we're being sneaky about it, right? This is just kind of the way things need to operate. So I think that all these kinds of considerations kind of get lost in the Twitter sphere of it all.
Try to relax your anus.
But just wanted to kind of clarify that.
Get it off your chest.
So as you heard him, like he said, he was like going on a rant about, you know, that stuff should have just came out, right? Like it would have came out like years ago, right? The thing is, Diamond Select did it. They did it no problem. You could go like mom and pop comic book shops and get get lucky and get a Mephisto. So I don't know why they can do it, but they can't. Like they say, like they some kind of child-friendly thing, but you gotta remember, you're dealing with like a comic book company that's been around for like almost like 80 years. You know, 80 years. That's a long time. You know, most of us as adults, like the soccer moms only gonna get it for their kids. The kids want it because the characters look cool. But when you're doing like the Kickstarter, you can go all in. But at the end of the day, you are also making it for adults. So you could have just put it on our website stuff like, we're not gonna put it in Target or Walmart. We're gonna just strictly have it at online stores, and you can get Mephisto there. That's the only way you can get Mephisto, and just do a really good Mephisto. That's all you had to do. You guys making excuses, and it almost sounds like you're attacking us, which would be a bad move. Don't do that, because you know you don't want to be G4 and attack your audience.
People are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And then, you know, your company failed, but you know, we just take it like the Haslab failed because of this.
You blew it.
Yeah, absolutely. When we created the last two Haslabs, the Sentinel and Galactus, all the expense was on the outside. It was building something up, right? This has the same amount of effort and work. It's just a car.
Really? You buy that?
And what that means is there's a lot of stuff that goes on the inside. It has a bottom, it has a middle, it has a top, it has windows, it has mirrors, it has lots of little things all over it that plug in. So, and this one has the most premium electronics package we've ever done in Marvel Legends.
How long do the lights stay on?
There's different sequences, so you can hit the blower multiple times to do different types of light displays.
What mode is it in right now? Because it's just going.
This is just going. This is like a flickery mode. We're still working to fine tune that to get the lighting a little bit more natural to fire as well. So we did this presentation.
But it's lasted from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I mean, yeah, it was going on the whole time I was here yesterday too.
So you know, it's like it's the same amount of effort and work as these other ones. It's just got a lot of hidden stuff because of the nature of an automobile. It's very different than.
And now you got the other part when they talking about that all the work that's been put into the Haslab car, and they compare that it like went to the levels of like the Sentinel and Galactus, right? And this was like Dwight saying this, right? So Dwight saying this, and then you know Ryan comes in again and talk about it's supposed to be like a premium thing.
It's a tough comp in terms of form factor. There's been a lot of comparisons to other things that are not in this premium 6 to 7 inch scale. I think the competitive set for this are things like the Party Wagon, the Hiss Tank, the Thunder Tank, things like that, not some other type of doll cars or a radio control car from 5 years ago, right? To me, that's not the competitive set. What Dan was saying too, when Sentinel and Galactus were developed, that was pre-COVID. That was pre a lot of what's going on right now. And you know, there are reasons, but you've seen the price of a 6-inch Marvel or 6-inch Hasbro figure is at a certain point now where it was a couple years ago. Like that's obviously going to roll into Haslab and everything we do. And it's not like if we did something smaller than this, it still wouldn't be subject to the same.
That's comparable to like the Turtles Party Wagon and the Thunder Tank. And I'm like, they are like huge things that you open up, you have like guns and stuff coming out of it and stuff. It's like, it looks amazing, you know. Like, not saying that the Hell Chart doesn't look amazing too, but you can't really compare that to them because even the Party Wagon had like a little slide-in thing that comes out with the turtle and it has a gun in it too. Like, it's not, they completely engineered differently. Just like you telling me, like, yeah, I can understand you put the same amount of heart into the car like you did with Galactus Sentinel, but they are completely different. They are completely different. Cause you can't tell me something that this big like the Galactus is comparable to the car. You can't tell me that. And then like you talking about like you can't compare this to like the doll car that was used, you know, like the Bratz car. And you say you can't compare it. That thing had a radio, dude. That thing is $35 or $40, and he has a radio. It can light up. It's just too darn awesome. Just for $35. And he said like, oh, it's the price and everything went up now. But still, that thing is blowing your thing out the water. That's the thing that the people are saying. And you saying you listen to us, but not really. Because then you gotta just take the loss. Don't take it out on us. You guys just like, you know, I understand we messed up. We'll do better next year. So I hope they do better next year. I really do.
So that question you touched on is big in the community. Is this worth the price tag? I think the way to look at it is for each consumer. Do I want to get it for this amount of money? Like the costing, it is what it is. If we couldn't have made it cheaper, we would have. It is not our goal to put months and months of effort from many people to put something at a level that we knew was unsustainable from the start, because we are not trying to set ourselves up for failure. So that's I think a question that each individual consumer is free to answer on their own, and to each their own, right? There's plenty of offerings out there. We're going to continue making Marvel Legends, but I just get a little bent out of shape when it's like everyone's arguing over what's it worth. What's it worth to you? That's the question.
So when you're saying that you could have made it like cheaper, but then you said this was the price, the $350, but then the Transformer just had a Haslab and they're killing it. They killing it. So like, what's going on with that though? Saying you could, and saying if it's worth it to you, but clearly it's not worth it to anybody. You got like the hardcores that want it, but it's not enough, because majority of the people is the ones that's kind of either skeptical on it or just don't have the money to get it because it costs too much. And you need to cater to those people if you want it to back. Like Galactus was a lot of money, but it was worth it. The Tears was worth it. Galactus is worth it. The Sentinel was another one. He was worth it alone because you had the army building. He was great. But this has no army building, but you just can't army build with it. It just don't have no army building potential whatsoever. So you just got that. You're just getting like the one car, and you're getting a Robbie head. Because doing the early bird special was like a bad move in general, because that's why he lost a lot of people. Because he should have just came with the car, and his brother should have came with the car. All that stuff should have came with the car. You just should have put all the tiers on the table, like this is what you're getting. And not Hellstrom. Hellstrom's better, not than Pryor. I have to stress that enough, not her. So let's continue.
Let me answer your question with the question. If I went to a burger joint, this actually happened, right? There was a tomato shortage. There was a sign on the register that said, "We are in a tomato shortage. We apologize. If you would like tomatoes, we have to charge you an additional 25 cents."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because whatever change, their raw ingredients is going up.
Right.
If I were to say, "Sure, give me tomatoes on my burger," or "You're going to give me more tomatoes, right?" And they're going to say, "No, because it's their tomato shortage. We are raising price because our costs for tomatoes are going up." Even though you have to pay more, you are not getting more for it. We are raising prices to offset costs. So to your point, the prices are going up because the cost of inputs are going up. If we were to when we have done deluxe figures, we introduced new SKUs, $50 SKUs, right, a couple years ago. Yeah, we're going to give you more to justify that because a MODOK is worth more than a standard $20 figure at the time. So that's a point to say we do what we can, but the point of these price increases is not to include more in the box. It is to offset all of these other things that are going on in the industry and in the world. So I think that's an important, it's a fair thing to ask for, but if you kind of think about it, that is, unless you're introducing a new price point for strategic reasons of new form factors or larger scale things, we're not doing it to put more things in. And I think you'll see that across the industry. But we hear you, and we fight all the time. We stretch our costs as much as we can. There's some figures where we go all out, where we go 2 alternate heads, multiple hands, and then there are some figures where we have to make the tougher judgment call of not including as much as we would have liked to.
So you hear Ryan talking about the tomatoes, right? So we on Big O now. We talk about the tomatoes. So here's my thing with that. Is there a shortage in plastic or something? Because you relate to the tomato as a shortage, or is just the cost of making the tomatoes cost more? But you have we'll just say we have Burger King over here, right? They got to do the same thing with the same tomatoes, right? But they keeping the cost the same, right? They have no problem getting the tomatoes, right? So you got Burger King over there. They're saying okay, since y'all charging more, we're gonna charge the same that we normally charge for the tomatoes. But then you got this other company over here, right? You got let's say what's a fancy burger place? We're gonna say Five Guys, right? You got Five Guys over here, right? Five Guys is already super expensive, right? It's super expensive already. So you got McDonald's over here, you know, we call Hasbro McDonald's, and they trying to compete with Five Guys. This is like a higher grade restaurant, right? So they up there with them, which also have the same tomatoes, but you paying a lot because they do so much with their burger. They make the burgers bigger. They give you more stuff with the burger, so it's worth it. It's worth it to pay that extra money. And then you got Burger King over here that's still charging you like, you know, $20 for their burger, and you got McDonald's that's charging you like $30, $35, catching up to Five Guys, right? Because Five Guys usually is $60, but then they start making like, you know, burgers that come with a little less. It don't come with all the stuff that the $60 one does, but it still come with like a whole bunch of like lettuce and tomatoes, and you got your mayo. It still come with all of that though, still. It just don't come with the extra stuff. You know, like they have like a special sauce or something, or jalapenos. Don't come with all that craziness. But it's like $35 though. They stop it at $35. You know, these food analogies is like getting to me though. But y'all get what I'm saying though. It's like SA Figure Arts, Hasbro, and McFarlane. I just wish McFarlane did 6-inch, but he doesn't. But if he did, I'd be hardcore collecting them. But I do have a few McFarlanes myself though, because he does make really good figures. I just wish they're 6-inch. But I don't get the tomato analogy because he's talking about a shortage, but it's not a shortage. You're just saying that you have to pay more to get the plastic. So you gotta remember, guys, you gotta remember, Ryan, you're in a competition. So if you need to make more stuff, just do it, and we'll pay the price. We'll pay the extra price for whatever you need. And don't say like we're not gonna do it. If the other person is doing it, or the other person give you about the same as the other person, but they give it to you cheaper. Think about this, you know, you gotta think about this. Like, I'm not a business guy, I'm not a PR person, I'm just a consumer. So you gotta look at me as the consumer, and I'm trying to tell you something. Like they say, the customer's always right. So something to think about there. Something to think about, Hasbro.
For Spider-Man, a character we all love, the hands on Spider-Man are more expensive because of the deco. Undecoed hands are much cheaper. That's why a lot of times, like, why does Spider-Man not have all 6 hands? It's because we can't put all 6 hands with all the lines everywhere at times 6.
Understood.
That just brings your deco op count way up high.
And then we like here I'm talking about the Spider-Man hands, right? Like the Spider-Man hands. So here's the thing, like if you like I said in an earlier video, if you're gonna make like the webbing Spider-Man with the web hands and stuff like that, what you should do is just have them come with different hands that never came with another Spider-Man, so you can even change the Spider-Man's hands then that would probably upset that since you can't have him come with 6 hands all the time, because you always gotta have the crawling hands, right? So we already have like a other Spider-Man that have crawling hands. It's always have him come with the flipping hand. You gotta always have him flipping. You gotta always have him punching. The punching is default. You got the flipping hand, right? So you got that. But then don't give him like the wall crawling hand. Give him like some hand to show expression. Cause we can use the other Spider-Man to use the wall crawling. Unless you use like a different joint or something, then have them come with the wall crawling hand. But if it's like the same type of plug that you plug in any other Spider-Man, do something different. You know how to do the wall crawling. Do them like pointing, you know, doing some type of gesture with his hand. You can maybe even have him come with like a head that's showing like a different facial, you know, feature that he normally doesn't do. How about this? Give us a different Peter Parker head, cause the head you keep doing, that's like Dr. Octopus as Peter Parker when he had his hair slicked back. Spider-Man used to always have his bango, you know, he has beautiful hair. So like, do a head with that one. You know, so you have options. You know, yes, you don't have to do the 6 hands all the time, but if you give us 4 hands, except for the ones that he comes with that don't count, just have 2 hands. That's different. That never came with any other Spider-Man. Just keep doing it. Only when you're doing the web Spider-Man. If you're doing like a new Spider-Man in general, then he definitely got to come with his 6 hand. He got to come with the wall crawling, the web shooting, and the punching. You know, the open hand, whatever. You have to come with any Spider-Man that's different from the webbing Spider-Man. So that's my thoughts on that. So at the end of the day, I just say that you shouldn't attack the fans. Like, I get it, these things can get frustrating, you know, but you gotta remember you part of a company and you don't want to get that frustrating and you like lash out at the fans and stuff, because you know you work for the fans. The fans, you know, tell you what you want, you know, tell you what they want, and either you try to make it if you can. If you can't, bench it or find a different way to try to make it. You know, just try to think outside the box. So don't attack your fans though, because you don't want to go the way of G4 and everybody hates you. You don't want to do that. So definitely don't attack the fans. So yeah. With everything that's being said, I just wish they have like do a vote with the fans to find out like what things do fans actually want. You know, I'd rather them like do something like that. It's like, hey guys, we have this idea of these 3 things. Like, what would you want? And vote on it. But don't say who won, and just, you know, bring it up when like a con happened. Like, okay, we went on this. We had a vote a while back, and the fans have spoken, and we getting this. You know, you do something like that. You know, maybe it go well. You know, if you're gonna do something that's worth $350, you gotta make it worthwhile. You gotta give it that X factor. Give it that coolness. They were like, oh my god, I gotta have it. You know, you gotta like go all in, guys, when you do something like that. But other than what you gave us though, it shouldn't just be $350. It is what it is. You know, it's expensive. But I just want you guys to just take this loss as a learning experience and do better. Cause at the end of the day, I want you to do better. I love you guys. I just want you to just go all in and get better. You know, get better, do better. At the end of the day, that's what I want. That's what the fans want, you know. So we gotta give them like what they want. Give them like the best product you can. Like, so I wish you guys the best. And this is Craft signing out. Yo, guys, have a good one. Y'all be good. And please remember to leave a like and subscribe and comment below on your thoughts on the Haslab Engine of Vengeance. So see you guys next time. Bye.